Well, I was fortunate enough to work within the English FA when we started to build a pathway and structure. It's taken many years. Um, we went to the clubs, we got a professional partnership with the clubs. So the game now in England is full-time professional. So as a coach, that allows all the coaches in the WSL to be full-time. So now what we're seeing is that not only players having a professional role in football, i.e. paid full-time, but now coaches also have a professional role coaching and working with players on a daily basis. So the progress has been immense in England. So if I compare it 10, 12, 15 years ago, players would have to work and then come and train probably in the evening. So they've had a full day at work, you know, in between trying to get something to eat to go training in the evening. But now players full time, they have a full day schedule. They come in to train in the morning, they have breakfast at the club, they train, they have lunch at the club, they have an afternoon session. It might be a gym session, it might be an analysis session, a theory session. So from where it was amateur to where it is now, they're full-time athletes basically. Yeah, it's improved tenfold. We've had some of the biggest attendances in England, including the Euro final against Germany. I think it was 89,000. We've had domestic league, 50,000, Arsenal, Chelsea. Wages, now players, get a decent living wage where they're able to live on a daily basis, buy homes on a daily basis. So the whole structure and infrastructure of the women's game has completely changed, and that comes from the investment from clubs. So each 11 of the Premier League clubs in England have a partnership with a men's professional club. So there's an affiliation between the men and the women's club that allows that sort of sustainability and professionalism into the women's game. So it's been tremendous. I think females globally, the progression has increased tenfold. I think the knowledge, the desire to be better. I think we face a challenge about giving more females opportunities to coach. I think in our league at the moment, the numbers are dwindling. We have more male coaches in our top league than we have females, but we have more females that are qualified to coach than ever before. So there's a problem there. But it is about opportunities that something needs to be addressed to give females coaching opportunities. But, I work with and have worked with some really good female coaches whose knowledge, dedication, expertise, delivery is excellent, and Mary's one of them, So there's a real desire for female coaches to coach on the grass. We have to be careful that the top end of the game doesn't disconnect with the grassroots game. And we just have to make sure that we bring the entire game forward and not just focus on the top end of it, because the grassroots game is the future of the game. So I think that's a bit of a challenge that we need to keep an eye on and make sure that gap isn't a bit too big, and there are certainly no cracks in the pathway for a player's development. Yeah, I think globally, every country, every association is looking to professionalise the game. I think that is the biggest growth, but I also think the opportunities for commercial and marketing to be brought into the game will help to develop the game, albeit that the players should be at the centre of everything, because without the players and the product, you don't get the commercial deals, you don't get the marketing deals. So the players are the priority and need to be looked after. But the hope is that the game globally will have professionalisation and professional status, I'm sure. Okay, there's been a few. I've had a really long journey, most of it enjoyable. I would say qualifying for the 2007 World Cup in China, because we hadn't qualified on the previous three opportunities. So that was a real massive occasion for the game. 2009, we actually got to the final in Finland when we played Germany. Sadly, lost the final, but the first time we've ever got to a final, that was a massive achievement for us. And then I think the final one would be the Olympics. Coaching an Olympic team, fantastic experience for myself, for the players. And I think that was a real turning point in women's football in 2012, where we got, I think, 75,000 at Wembley when we played Brazil. So had some real highlights in the game. And just glad to be part of it still.